speak today about birthdays. Alright, this is a big topic. Our people every year celebrate their birthday. Alright, and they do this faithfully every year. And most of you have been brought up in the system where you have birthday parties from a young youth, and now you see elderly people in their 70s and 80s having birthday parties. So I'm going to talk a little bit about birthdays today, and let's find out if it's actually scriptural. Okay, let's find out if it's scriptural. So we're going to go through a couple of books. I'm going to make this a short lesson and just bring out a few facts, and I'll stop at that. Okay, so this is Amos in the book of Amos, and this is in the King James Bible, 1611. I'm gonna start with 21. Mosiah says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take them away from me, the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols. So the Most High is not dealing with these birthdays and these other feast days, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Baby's Day, Christening Day. You're not dealing with all this stuff. Alright, I wanted to bring this out. Just going to show you where this famous festival comes from, birthdays. Alright, because our family members, some brothers and sisters who are still in the truth, they still keep the birthdays. So let's find out the origins of birthdays. Let's find out, okay? And this video is to the 12 tribes of Israel, to the Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians of Negroid and Indian descent. These are the tribes of Israel, okay? And so by that, we're going to refresh your memory on where this stuff comes from. Let's go to page 94. We're going to talk about the two Babylons of Alexander Hislop. Also, we're going to go into the 1611 King James Bible. So I want to start with page 94. We're going to start at the word far. It says, far and wide in the realms of paganism was this birthday observed. It says, this festival has been commonly believed to have had only an astronomical character, referring simply to the completion of the sun's yearly course and the commencement of a new cycle. So birthday is supposed to be a symbol of a new cycle, right? And that's what people say. What are you going to do this year? What's your pledge this year? What are you going to do this year? All right. It says, but there is indubitable evidence that the festival in question had a much higher reference than this. That is, commemorated not merely the figurative birthday of the sun in the renewal of its course, but the birthday of the grand deliverer. So who's that grand deliverer? It's the moon. It's the sun. All right? Sun worship and moon worship. Now let's see what the Arabians say. Among the Sabeans of Arabia, which are both in the Bible, the Sabeans and the Arabians are both in the Bible. Among the Sabeans of Arabia, who regarded the moon and not the sun as the visible symbol of the favorite object of their idolatry, the same period was observed as the birth festival. Okay, this is where your birthdays come from. All right, from the same Islamic religions, from the same Christianity religions, who are Roman Christians. All right, this is thus we read in Stanley Sabian philosophy on the 24th of the 10th month. That is December. Even this man knows that December is the 10th month. That would mean that January will be the 11th month, February the 12th month, all right, into March, March to April, the 1st month, all right. And when you look at December, it stands for decade, which means 10. November, nueve in the Latin, which is 9. October, think of octagon, 8 sides. That's October. That's the 8th month. That's how you know what's what. It says on the 24th of the 10th month, that is December, according to our reckoning, the Arabian calendar, or the Arabians celebrated the birthday of the Lord. That is the moon. So they celebrated the moon as their Lord. Okay, so when you're talking to an Arabian guy, he says he loves his Lord. He's talking about the moon god. It says the Lord moon was the great object of Arabian worship, and that the Lord moon, according to them, was born on the 24th of December, which clearly shows that the birth which they celebrated had no necessary connection with the course of the sun. It is worthy of special note, too, that if Christmas Day among the ancient Saxons of this island was observed to celebrate the birth of any lord of the host of heaven, the case must have been precisely the same here as it was in the Arabia. The Saxons, as is well known, regarded the sun as a female divinity and the moon as a male. It must have been the birthday of the Lord moon, therefore, and not of the sun, that was celebrated by them on the 25th of December, even as the birthday of the same Lord moon was observed by the Arabians on the 24th of December. So y'all worshiping not only a moon god, but y'all worshiping also a sun god when it comes to Christmas and all these other pagan religions. All right, let's go over here to page 95. This is that it was the birth of the Lord moon that was celebrated among our ancestors at Christmas. So Christmas is the worship not only of the tree, not only of a pagan image, but also of the moon. It says, we have remarkable evidence in the name that is still given in the lowlands of Scotland to the feast on the land of the day of the year, which seems to be a remnant of the old birth festival. For the cakes then made are called ner cakes or birth cakes. So that's where your birthday cakes come from. Paganism. Okay? Birthday cakes come from paganism. Ner cakes is what they used to be called. So get that into your head. All right? So our people need to wake up. All right, let's go from here. Let's go over to the scriptures. I'm going to go into Maccabees in the 1611 King James Bible. Okay, let's go to 2 Maccabees chapter 6. 2 Maccabees in the Apocrypha chapter 6 verse 6. It says, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts or to profess himself at all to be a Jew, because when the Greeks came in, they started changing our religion, or changing our beliefs, changing our commandments, our laws and statutes. Okay? Also changing our culture and our heritage. They made us not call ourselves Jews anymore, nor keep the Sabbath days holy. All right? And the same thing is happening here in America. It's the same thing. Verse 7. And in the day of the king's birth, every month they were bought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when what sacrifices? The sacrifices they gave to the moon god. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying ivy. Moreover, there went out in Bacchus is the worship of Tammuz, Semiramis and Tammuz. Okay, so that goes back to the birth of Nimrod. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy. Ptolemy was one of the generals of Alexander the Greek. Okay, it says against the Jews that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices, of their birthdays, of the Greeks' birthdays. All right, and whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present misery. So this is basically telling you when they adopted or incorporated their feast days into our society, into our culture, they made us change everything we had to them and keep their feast days and keep their birthdays and all that paganism stuff. Okay, let's go from here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, this is a book on Josephus. He was a historian during the time of 70 AD. A lot of brothers in the truth like to bring out Babylon and Timbuktu by author Rudolph Windsor. Rudolph Windsor got his information when he spoke of over 1 million Jews fled into West Africa. He got that from here. He got that from the new complete works of Flavius Josephus. Okay? And a lot of history in this. Josephus was a historian. He was a scribe. And all he did was document everything that happened during that time. Very good historian. So he kept the records of the things that went on for Israel. This is after Christ had passed, after the Hamashiach had died. Okay? And let's find out what Josephus thinks about, or what he says about birthdays. So we're going to go to the book called Against Appian. This is on page 972. And we're going to go to book 2. I'm going to drop down to section 26. And this is concerning the law on birthdays. It says, and indeed, the law does not permit us to make festivals at the births of our children. See that? We was never doing that. That was a pagan feast day. It says, and thereby afford occasion of drinking to excess. What did he mean by that? Israel did everything in moderation. We never did things over excessively. Everything we did was in moderation, meaning we knew when to stop. Okay? But it ordains that the very beginning of our education should be immediately directed to directed to sobriety. It also commands us to bring those children up in learning. When you read Deuteronomy 6, chapter 6, it talks about teach the children the commandments. All right? This is our wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. All right? I'll start back at it. It also commands us to bring those children up in learning and to exercise them in the laws and make them acquainted with the acts of their predecessors, that's their forefathers, in order to their imitation of them, and that they might be nourished up in the laws from their infancy, and might neither transgress them nor have any pretense for their ignorance of them. So right here, the Most High is making sure there's no excuse for breaking these laws. If we're being taught at a very young age, we won't break these laws by celebrating birthdays. You see, we've been overwhelmed while we've been in this country and in other countries with the pagan doctrine of birthdays and other feast days, Mother's Day, Father's Day. All these feast days, according to paganism, is sending us straight into the damn bottomless pit. We got to wake up. All right? And when do we ever say happy birthday to the Most High or happy birthday to you? You shouldn't be doing that. What we should be doing is thanking the Most High every day for this physical frame that He has blessed us with, for our brain, for our mind to be in good shape as far as thinking. All right? Having intellect to talk, to be able to have understanding. You know, those are the things we should be praising the Most High for. Not praising Him for letting us be a year older. All right? And this is a hard thing for our people to get because we've been taught the Western civilization ways. But we have to come out of it. Like the scriptures say, come out of her, my people, in Revelation 18. We're going to do that before that time comes. So with that, Israel, just showing you that birthdays are not scriptural. And this is Shemaiah 1 signing off, saying shalom and blessings to all Israel, all those doing the work in sincerity, those who believe, and those who teach. All praises to the Most High. Alright, by Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daniel. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
word of the Lord of hosts. I took you from the pastures and from following the sheep to be prince over my people Israel. I have been with you wherever you have gone and have destroyed all the enemies in your path. I will make you a great name among the great ones of the earth. I will assign a place for my people in Israel. There I will plant them, and they shall dwell in their own land.